Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group Kilo. Our title of group project is Cleaning Service Management System. So, this is our group members, AFIQ bin ROSLI, WAZIF FAKHRULLAH, DANIAL RASHDAN, and me, Muhammad ZULKARNAIN bin KAMARUZAMAN. So, let me explain to you about our introduction first. So, we are excited to introduce our innovative approach to cleaning service management systems designed to tackle common challenges in design and scalability. We prioritize user experience with a seamless, intuitive, and visually appealing interface. By simplifying navigation and optimizing loading times, we aim to enhance user satisfaction and usability. Our proactive performance monitoring ensures the system grows with your company, maintaining reliability and performance also. Tailored for cleaning companies, our platform simplifies registration, service browsing, scheduling, and payment also. It also includes rating and feedback features for transparency and customer satisfaction. For service providers, we offer streamlined task management, real-time job tracking, and efficient task assignment, boosting productivity and improving the customer experience. So, in summary, our approach addresses the unique challenges in cleaning service management, delivering a robust, reliable solution that evolves with your needs. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad bin FAIZULAFFIAN and my metric ID is CA22064. I will explain the contact diagram of our cleaning service management system. This diagram shows how different groups interact with our central system to manage the cleaning service effectively. In the center, we have the cleaning service management system. This is where all the action happens. It connects customer, cleaner, and company staff, handling all their interaction. And for the external entities, first we have customer. For customer, first, customer can make appointment. Customer book their cleaning service. Second is make payment. Customer can pay for the service. And third is feedback submission. Customer give feedback after the service. And fourth is rating submission. Customer rate the service that they receive. Fifth is registration and login. Customer register and log into their account. 6 is check availability. Customer can check when services are available. 7 is manage profile. Customer update their personal information. 8 is appointment and payment confirmation. The system sends confirmation message to customer. And 9 is feedback form. The system sends form for customer to provide feedback. Next is cleaner. For the cleaner, first is appointment details. Cleaner get information about their assigned job. Second is manage profile. Cleaner update their personal information. And third is job update and status. Cleaner update the system on their job progress. And fourth is get payment and report. Cleaner receive payment detail and job report from the system. Next is company staff. First is the manage profile. Staff update their personal information. Second is payment transaction. Staff handle the payment process. And third is generate report. Staff create report from the system. And fourth is customer and job information. Staff can access the detail about customer and jobs. And fifth is job assign and monitoring. Staff assign the job to cleaner and monitor their progress. And sixth is manage cleaner and customer. The staff can manage the information about cleaner and customer. This contact diagram shows how our cleaning service management system connect customer, cleaner, and company staff. It ensures the smooth operation from booking service to making payments and providing feedback.
Okay, now I will be presenting about the use case diagram for our cleaning service management system. Okay, this diagram illustrates the interaction between three primary actors, which is the customer, the cleaner, and the company staff, and the various functionality they interact with. Okay, let's go to the customer. Starting with the customer, they can view availability of cleaning service, schedule appointments, make payments, rate and provide feedback, register and subsequently, and also login, which can extend to viewing their profile and job status. Okay, let's move to the cleaner. When the cleaner login in, they can access their assigned job, which include details of the jobs, and also they can view the job status. Okay, move to the company staff. So the company staff as administrators have a broader range of interaction. They can manage service, assign job to cleaners, update job status, and also generate reports and display them for analysis. Okay, this diagram clearly outlines the functionalities offered by the system and the interaction between the actors and these functionalities. This structure ensures that all user roles can effectively interact with the system to manage their specific tasks efficiently. Thank you.
This is the sequence diagram for process 1, which is manage login. For the basic flow, the process starts with the user choosing an option on the login interface. The user is prompted to request their username and password. Then the user insert their username and password. Then the login interface sends the user login information to the controller. The controller then requests the web directory from the file to validate the data. If the login data is correct, the user login is accepted, but if the login data is incorrect, the user login is rejected. For the alternative flow one, which is create new account, the user chooses the sign up option and a sign up form is provided where the user insert their information, then the login interface sends the sign up information to the controller. The controller then requests the sign up form from the file, then the file validates the user detail and create the new user account. Then a successful sign up message is sent back. Next is the alternative flow 2. For the alternative flow 2, which is forgot password, the user requests to reset their password. Then the user is prompted to insert their email and new password. The login interface sends the reset password to the controller. Then the controller requests the reset password form from the file. The file validates the new detail and create the new password. Then a successful reset message is sent back, allowing the user to proceed to the login page. And last is the exception flow, which is for login attempt. The user insert their username and password, then the login data is sent to the controller. The controller sends the login attempt data to the file to calculate the login attempt, and if the login attempt balance is not valid, an error message will be displayed to the user. This is the sequence diagram for process 2, which is manage profile. In the basic flow diagram, the process involves the following steps. First is choose option. The user, which is customer or cleaner, select an option whether to update, delete, or display profile on the profile interface. The user confirm their choice, then the profile interface send the selected option to the profile interface controller. The profile interface controller process the request and save the data to the customer or cleaner file. And a confirmation message is sent back to the user confirming the action is completed. For the alternative flow 1, which is update profile, in the update profile diagram, updating a profile involves the user to select the update profile option. Then the profile interface asks for the current profile data, and the current profile data is shown to the user. The user then enters edit mode to change the profile. The user inputs the new profile detail, and the new details are saved and a confirmation message is sent back. The updated profile is displayed to the user. For the alternative flow 2, in the delete profile diagram, deleting a profile includes the user to select the delete profile option. Then the profile interface requests to delete the profile. The profile is deleted and a confirmation message is sent back. The user is taken to the login interface after deletion. In the alternative flow 3, which is display profile, in the display profile diagram, displaying a profile involves the user to select the display profile option. The profile interface requests the profile data, and the profile data is retrieved and a confirmation message is sent back. The profile data is displayed to the user.
Okay, now I will talk about the three process, which is check availability, book appointment, and make payment. Okay, now it's check availability. Okay, in the check availability in the basic flow, the customer starts by providing appointment details to the appointment interface. The system checks the appointment information through the appointment controller, which retrieves the relevant details from the appointment file. Once the information is validated, the system displays the available appointment slots to the customer, who can then proceed to the book appointment. Okay, for the alternative flow. In the alternative flow, the customer provides the service required details instead. The system checks this information and retrieves the relevant service detail. If the service is available, the system displays the available slots to the customer, allowing them to book an appointment. However, if no service is available, the system prompts the customer to re-enter the required details for another check. Okay, lastly, for the check availability is the exception flow. The customer, in the exception flow, the customer submit their appointment details, which are sent to the booking controller. The booking controller attempts to store these details in the appointment file. If there is an issue, such as a conflict or error, the system needs to send an error message back to the customer, prompting them to try again. Okay, now let's move to the next process, which is process 4, book appointment. In the basic flow in book appointment, the customer begins by submitting the appointment details to the booking interface. The booking interface then sends these details to the booking controller, which store the appointment information in the appointment file. Once the details are successfully stored and validated, the appointment file sends a confirmation back to the booking controller. The booking controller then displays the appointment details to the customer, who can proceed the payment. Okay, next is exception flow for book appointment. In the exception flow, the customer also starts by submitting the appointment details to the booking interface. The booking interface forwards these details to the booking controller, which attempts to store the appointment information in the appointment file. However, if there is an issue during this process, such as conflict or error, the system will not be able to validate and confirm the appointment. Instead, an error message is sent back to the booking controller to the booking interface, which then displays this error message to the customer, prompting them to try again. Okay, now let's go to the process 5, which is make payment. In basic flow, the customer verifies the appointment through the payment interface, which check the detail with the payment controller. The payment controller retrieves the payment amount from the appointment file and display it to the customer. The customer then chooses a payment method, enters the necessary detail, and the payment is processed. Once confirmed and validated, a success message is displayed to the customer. Okay, next to the exception flow for the make payment is similarly, but the customer verifies the payment and the payment amount is displayed. But if there's an issue with the payment, such as incorrect details or insufficient funds, an error message prompts the customer to re-enter the information or choose another method. This continues until the payment is successfully processed and confirmed. Now let's move to the next part.
Alright, so I'm going to explain to you guys about our sequence diagram for process 6.0, which is assign job, and this is the basic flow. Right, so let's overview the sequence diagram here. We have company staff, assign job interface, controller, and assign job file. So let's go for the detail. First, the process starts with the company staff sending the job details to the assign job interface. So the assign job interface will receive the job details and accesses them to understand the requirements, and then the assign job interface then communicates with the assign job controller to check for available cleaners, and the step 4 is the assign job controller will request the available cleaner from the assign job file, which maintains the records of cleaner availability. So next is assign job file processes. This requests and sends back the details of an available cleaner to the assign job controller. Assign job controller then forwards the available cleaner details to the assign job interface, which displays this information to the company staff. Based on display information, the company staff assigns the cleaner to the job. Assign the cleaner that are suitable for the job. The assign job interface sends the cleaner assignment along with the job details to the assign job controller. And finally, the assign job controller stores the assignment and job details in the assign job file for record keeping and further processing. And this is for the basic flow. So let's move on to the exception flow. As you can see here also, we have company staff, assign job interface, controller, and file, just same as basic flow. So the process starts with the company staff sending a cancellation request to the assign job interface. As you can see here, the assign job interface will receive the cancellation request and updates the job details accordingly. The assign job interface then communicates with the assign job controller to verify the current job details and process the cancellation, unfortunately. And then the assign job controller requests the current job details from the assign job file to ensure accurate processing of the cancellation. Next, assign job file process this request and confirms the current job details back to the assign job controller. Step 6, assign job controller then forwards the cancellation confirmation. Then forwards the cancel confirmation to the assign job interface. And lastly, finally, the assign job interface sends the cancellation confirmation to the company staff and completing the process. Next, we move on to the next process of sequence diagram, which is process 7.0, job status. So the process starts with the company staff send the confirmation of job completion to the job status interface, and then the job status interface will send the confirmation to the job status files through the job status controller, and job status files will update the job status and send back to the company staff through the controller and job status interface, and the job status controller will display the updated job status to the job status interface. And lastly, the company staff will send the updated job progress to the job status file through the job status interface and controller. Next is the exception flow for job status. So the process starts with the company staff send the confirmation of job completion to the job status interface, and then job status interface will send the confirmation to the job status controller. Job status controller will do the same to the job status file, and job status file will update the job status and send the updated job status to the controller and send back the controller will send to the will display the updated job status to the job status interface for the company staff to review.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Danial RASHDAN bin IBRAHIM, CA22048, and now I'll explain about the sequence diagram for the process 8.0 feedback. And this is the basic flow. So first, customer or company staff will log in at the user interface, and the controller will verify the user login data. And there is two alternatives, which is the first one, if the login data is correct, it will be accepted and it will be a successful login for the company staff and customer. And if the login data is incorrect, the login data will be rejected and it will display unsuccessful login for the user. And next, for the customer will be displayed feedback selection if the login data is correct, and there is three selection, which is add feedback, delete feedback, and edit feedback. So the customer will send the feedback selection and it will send the feedback data, and we save the feedback data into the feedback file, and the feedback file will display the feedback data. The controller will display the feedback to the user, and the user can also request for staff response, and it will send confirmation to the controller and will wait for the staff response to the feedback file, and the feedback file will give staff response to the controller, and the controller will display the staff response at the user interface. The customer can exit the feedback selection at the user interface, and the staff company can submit response at the user interface, and it will send response data to the feedback file, and it will save the response data at the feedback file, and the feedback file will then display staff response data to the controller, and the controller will display the staff response data at the user interface. Staff company can also generate report at the user interface, and it will save the report into the feedback file. Staff company can exit the user interface of response submission. Next, we have the alternative flow, which is add feedback. So customer can click add feedback button at the user interface, and it will send add confirmation button to the controller, and it will request for feedback form from the feedback file. The feedback file will then send feedback form back to the controller, and the controller will display the feedback form to the customer at the user interface. Then the customer will submit the feedback form back at the user interface, and it will send the customer's feedback to the controller, and it will then save the customer's feedback in the feedback file. Customer can exit the add feedback at the user interface. Next is delete feedback, and customer can delete feedback by clicking the delete feedback button at the user interface, and this will send delete confirmation, and it will request for current feedback at the feedback file. The feedback file will then send the current feedback that the customer requested, and it will display current feedback at the user interface. Customer can delete the current feedback, and it will send deleted customer's feedback to the controller, and it will save the deleted customer's feedback in the feedback file. Next is the edit feedback. Customer can edit feedback at the user interface, and it will send edit confirmation to the controller, and it will request for current feedback at the feedback file. The feedback file will then send current feedback, and it will display current feedback to the customer at the user interface, and customer can edit current feedback, and it will send edited customer's feedback, and it will save the edited customer's feedback at the feedback file. Next, we have the generate report for process 9.0, and this is the basic flow of the sequence diagram. And company staff can update the job status at the report interface, and they will send job status to the report controller, and then it will store the job status at the report file. The report file will then send information back to the report controller, and it will display the report at the report interface, and company staff can view the report. This is the exception flow for the regenerate report, and if the company staff do not update the job status, there will be no information on the job status, so nothing will be sent to the report file. This will be a failure to display report at the report interface, and the company staff will unable to review the report.
This is the user interface for the manage login for cleaning management system. Here you can sign in using Google or Facebook, or you can use the email that you already registered. And here, when you press this button, you can sign up using your Google or Facebook account, or just fill in the details. Then you can sign up. At the top, we have the home directory or about us directory and the contact us directory. This is the UI for the manage profile for the cleaning management system. Here, the user can see their basic information and contact information. But if they want to edit their profile, they can just press this button and fill out this form. They also can update their profile picture, and they can also update their contact information. This is the UI for the manage profile for the cleaning management system. Here, the user can see their basic information and contact information. But if they want to edit their profile, they can just press this button and fill out this form. They also can update their profile picture, and if all is done, they can save their changes. And if they want to delete their profile, just press this button and then delete their profile.
Okay, so let's carry on to our next interface, which is check availability interface. So as you can see here, you can choose the type of service that you desire in this interface. Okay, such as basic cleaning, deep cleaning, office cleaning, window, and also house cleaning. You can also type the date that you want, or you can just choose it from the calendar that we give. So it will make it much more easier for you to find the date that you find relevant. So the last thing that we have in our check availability interface is you can type the time that you want, or also you can choose it from here. We already make it easier for you to choose. We already make it easier for our user to choose the time that they want. Next, we move on to our booking interface. Okay, so at our book, after you check the availability interface, you can start to book here. So as you can see at here, you can also choose this, the type of service that you desire. It includes basic cleaning, deep cleaning, just like from before. And next, you can also choose the date that you want from the calendar, and the time that you free, that you want to book our service.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Danial IBRAHIM, CA22048, and now I will present the user interface for make payment. So first we have the option for service that we have selected, the customer selected, then we can enter the amount, and then there is the select payment method. The customer has to insert their card number, expiry date, CVV, and their name and their address, and also they have to enter their email, and then they can proceed.
Now I will be presenting for the job status interface for our cleaning service management system. Okay, this interface is designed for company staff to monitor and update the status of cleaning jobs. It provides a clear and user-friendly layout where staff can easily track the progress of each job. Okay, for the interface element, we can see that the left side features a navigation menu with options such as customer, view, cleaner, appointment, notification, history, and settings. Okay, in the main section, job is represented by a card displaying its current status, for example, job 1, job 2, and job 3. Okay, for their functionality, each job card has 3 status buttons: start, in process, and complete. When a job progresses, the company staff can update its status by clicking the corresponding button. As you can see that, for example, clicking start will indicate that the job has begin. In process will show how ongoing work, and complete will mark the job as finished. Okay, now let's move to the next part, which is feedback interface. Okay, this feedback interface is designed to gather customer feedback on the service provided. It features a clean and straightforward design to ensure ease of use. The interface includes field for the customer's name, email address, and phone number to identify the feedback source. It also asks customer if they are satisfied with the service, which option for yes or no. Additionally, there is a suggestion box where customers can provide further comments or suggestions to help improve the service. Once the form completed, customer can submit their response by clicking the submit button with the green button. The feedback is then processed and stored in the system for review by the company staff.
Okay, next we have the user interface for process 9.0, which is generate report. So we can select the status of the task. So when it is complete, we can generate the report. You print out the task has been completed successfully, and we can also download the report, and it will download it in the Google file, and we can open the report to view it. And if it is incomplete, then we can select the incomplete status option. When we generate the report, it will print out the task is incomplete, and please update the job status. And that's all from us. Thank you for listening.